Payoff pitch. The inbounds foul. They're not letting McLaughlin get off the hook easily. Next pitch will be his 50th. Payoff again. Just inside. That was a good spot. Eyelash call, but Ferguson, to the chagrin of Dave Perno, we presume.
Well, you know why I think he doesn't get this call is because he's been away all night long, been arm side all night long, and the home plate umpire hasn't even seen that spot from him. So that was a strike. Chase Ferguson gets lucky on that one. That right, first chance he's seen a ball.
Want to extend the inning for this guy. Joey Pancake, a single and a run scored in the first. Right to third, gobbled up by Powell. He'll step on the closest route. In the force, and the inning over. No runs on a hit, and 2 left on. And it remains a 2-1 South Carolina lead. Series lid lifter here at Carolina Stadium.
Have you been to Folly Beach lately? You won't believe what you're missing. Folly Beach is more than just 6 miles of gorgeous beach. Folly is unique shops and wonderful restaurants, as well as newly renovated lodging. Folly is eco-friendly tours, adventure sports, and the best surfing in South Carolina, and historic maritime treasures. Come experience the laid-back island life just minutes from downtown Charleston. With friendly people and regular festivals, Folly always has something to celebrate. It's Folly Mon. Rediscover the island life on Folly Beach.
We developed HouseSmart to be the new standard in home building. We use the best technology to make our homes more efficient, more affordable, and more convenient without any additional cost to you.
Others may try to imitate HouseSmart, but only Mungo Homes has the combination of unique features that won the program a national award.
HouseSmart homes cost less to operate and actually improve the way you live. And you'll have the quality, value, and stability of America's best builder.
HouseSmart. Find out more at mungo.com.
Back with you in Columbia, 2-1 South Carolina. All runs occurred in the first inning. Look at your game summary. Nelson Ward kicked it off with some fireworks. A leadoff home run off of Nolan Belcher. Racing Grinders triple. Put the Gamecocks back in front. Bryan will lead things off. Just a $127 on the year. He's a .289 hitter in limited at-bats as a freshman. Fastballs to begin the count, Trey, but this matchup on the mound, really polar opposites. McLaughlin, a guy who lives off his fastball. Nolan Belcher, the exact opposite.
Yeah, as you see right there with the changeup, he certainly relies on fooling hitters, but that's not to say he doesn't use his fastball. He does. He uses it to set up his other pitches, but certainly a lot more breaking pitches.
Like that. Goes right back to the well on Bryant for Nolan Belcher's second strikeout. Bases empty for the sophomore Nelson Ward. Here's how this game started.
Yeah, Belcher gets 2 strikes on him, gets the ball elevated. Ward just does a tremendous job keeping his hands inside the ball, dropping the head right on it, keeping it fair. Home run.
Got some good numbers on the year, just not in the power department. It's Dave Perno's #1 pinch hitter a year ago.
And see what Belcher's been doing tonight. You see him mid to upper 80s with his fastball, not too bad. And then you see the huge discrepancy with how slow he can throw the ball. 67 miles an hour. Very tough as a hitter to stay back when you see that ball coming in like a watermelon, and then you end up popping it up or either swinging through it.
A little bit of a late swing, and Belcher exacts his revenge on Ward the next time.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this pitch by pitch. Nelson Ward gets the best of Nolan Belcher the first time. This time Belcher responds, starts with a fastball for strike one. It's that breaking ball in there for strike two, and you see that pitch right there. Ward out of the hand, thinks that ball's going to go over his head or be a ball high, and it snaps right down in there too late.
Powell pops his first pitch out of play. Certainly worthy of all SEC consideration. 389, fourth in the SEC, 74 hits, second in conference. Riding a 7-game hitting streak. Powell's out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Former Tennessee Gatorade Player of the Year, signed originally with Vanderbilt. Left after a semester, enrolled at Volunteer State Community College. Burge is one of the junior college ranks top hitters and signed with the Bulldogs. He's ahead on Belcher, 3-1. Hitters count to a guy who's been among the best hitters in the league. You see where he stacks up, but look at the guys in yellow. Bregman, Kemp, Katz, the Gamecocks have faced them already and combined hitting just .212. Belcher trying to strike out the side. Powell trying to extend the inning. Martin smothers in. Replacing L.B. Dansler at first base, handles his first chance well, and Nolan Belcher works a clean third. It's 8 straight retired by the senior Nolan Belcher, and Carolina takes a 2-1 lead.
I'm a paid non-attorney spokesperson. Cerebral palsy and brachial plexus injuries, sometimes called Erb's palsy, can be the direct result of medical negligence caused by your doctor and hospital during the delivery of your baby. Signs of these injuries can appear in the delivery room or during the first years of a child's life. If you notice your child has a floppy appearance, seizures that developed shortly after delivery, an inability to sit up, crawl, walk, or reach milestones, spastic or tight muscles, or a limp arm, these may be the earliest signs of cerebral palsy or brachial plexus injury and could be the result of improper care during delivery. Our registered nurses are available to speak with you. We may be able to help you find the answers you need to get compensation you deserve for your child.
Call today for a free consultation at 1-800-518-2371. Again, that's 1-800-518-2371. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson for James Sokolov, Wellesley, Mass.
Home of the Braves.
We are sports. We are Sports.
Look at some of the standouts in the SEC East this year. L.B. Dansler, third in the league with 12 home runs. Powell, as we told you, second in the conference in hits. And Tony Kemp, a guy the Gamecocks saw last weekend, leads the SEC in several categories: runs scored, stolen bases. Among those, I know you came away incredibly impressed with the junior count.
Yeah, certainly. I was probably most impressed with his ability to move at second base, especially after not playing there for most of his career. Great athlete. And I'll tell you what, L.B. Dansler's stats, in my opinion, don't even add up to what he's meant to the South Carolina team this year. He's been the rock in the middle of their order, driving in key runs for them all season long.
Doubled and drove home a run in the first. Extends his streak of 26 straight games he's reached safely. A lot of talk preseason centered around how would the Gamecocks replace Christian Walker, who had been their bedrock in the middle of the order. A lot of folks almost forgot about Dantzler. He struggled out of the gates, and the batting average was slow to climb upward. He was a guy who had an abundance of power, and he settled in really well. Behind 1 and 2 on McLaughlin.
Yeah, and 2 really sharp breaking balls right there from McLaughlin. Those are big league breaking balls. And he's just had a hard time finishing off these hitters, with the exception of Tanner English. It's like you get ahead 0-2 or 1-2 and you blink your eye and all of a sudden it's a full count. You know, he'll certainly get better with that aspect of his game the more he matures.
And he walks Dantzler. Lead off the Gamecock third. Second walk allowed by McLaughlin. Also has hit 1 batter, and he'll face Grayson Griner, who tagged him for an RBI triple his last time. Ground ball gets through. Could be another extra base hit for Griner. Dantzler digging for third. Second and third with nobody out.
Yeah, and something about Grayson Griner and all these Carolina hitters tonight, you see that another sharp breaking ball from McLaughlin, which tells me that they're seeing that ball out of his hands really good. It's a sharp pitch and a good pitch, but all of the Carolina hitters are recognizing it early, and Grayson Griner, I can't say what these extra base hits can do for your confidence. His last 4 hits have all been extra bases. That is certainly what the coaching staff and the Carolina fans want to see out of Grayson Griner.
Psycho is swinging a foul. And clearly the strategy for Carolina is to try to get to McLaughlin early in the count. Now 11 of the 15 batters have swung on the first pitch.
And we saw the same approach at the plate against Vanderbilt's ace, Zomek, where Carolina squared, swinging wildly at the first pitch, taking some really good swings against Zomek. The only difference is tonight they're finding holes.
Outside 2-1.
And if you're Graham Psycho right here, the outfield is playing back. You've got a 2-1 count. Don't try to do too much. Just try to hit a ground ball to the shortstop or even the second baseman. Get him over, get him in. Just make sure you get that run home.
Good fastball, 2-2. Psycho, one of the reasons why he had for most of the year been in the leadoff spot, his ability to avoid the strikeout.
With that last pitch right there, outside fastball, that would have been a perfect pitch for him to just stick the bat out there and hit a ground ball to second base, get the run home, and move Griner over to third.
Should be deep enough. Deloach on the line. Instead, gun it to third. Cut off at second. Psycho the sac fly. Carolina third run home.
Really nice at bat from Graham Psycho. Good execution. Keeping his hands inside of that ball, driving it the other way. Accomplishes 2 things right there. Gets the runner home and moves another run over to third base with less than 2 outs.
And ball bounced by Martin for a base hit and an RBI. And it's now 4-1.
Yeah, and once again, another breaking ball, first pitch from McLaughlin, and it's just unbelievable to me how many of those breaking balls South Carolina's actually swung at tonight and hit the ball hard. Kyle Martin driving in a run.
Martin's 4th RBI of the year. Do you think that Carolina, because they were so aggressive on McLaughlin's fastballs to begin the count, kind of chased him away from that? Now they're smelling out the breaking balls. Runner was in motion, and they'll avoid the double play as Bright grounds out.
Well, you know, Andy, hitting is so difficult, especially when you have a guy throwing so hard. I don't think they're going up there looking for breaking balls. They're looking for fastballs, but out of the hand, McLaughlin's showing that pitch to where virtually every hitter can see that pitch. If I'm McLaughlin, I'm working on my changeup and throwing that a lot more than that breaking ball, especially seeing the swings that South Carolina's taken against that curveball early in the game.
Laughlin struck out English his first time. See Martin at second base.
Good cut.
It's not from working behind in the count that Carolina's plated 4 runs against him. We know that. To short. Farmer's got a hustle, but there's a reason why. He's one of the best defensive shortstops in the league. Retires the speedy Tanner English to end the 3rd, but 2 runs off of the freshman Sean McLaughlin. Gamecocks playing for postseason positioning, off to a promising start in the series opener. We played 3. The Gamecocks lead 4-1.
Hi, welcome to Toyota. I'm Jan.
Hi, Jack's gonna pick us a car.
Yeah, Toyotas is so reliable, he could drive it one day. Great timing. It's our Toyota Time Sales event.
Camry, you're safe, reliable. What color?
Oh, red with a cool stereo. We have that.
Now, for a limited time, get a low 0% APR on a new 2013 Toyota Camry. That's 0% APR on the dependable Toyota Camry. Toyota, let's go places.
Technology. It's pretty amazing because it saves things like your marriage, sanity, and time. Oh, and money. Technology saves lots of money. Take eSurance, for example. They were born online and built to save people money on car insurance. Yep, technology can do some amazing things, but it can't unhurt feelings. eSurance. Insurance for the modern world. Now backed by Allstate. Clicker.
Final home SEC series for South Carolina. And the Gamecocks a 4-1 lead as we head to the 4th. Gamecocks at a record of 34-14. RPI right in the thick of the national seed discussion. They've got some wiggle room for a regional host. There's the remaining schedule for them, Trey. Georgia, and then a big series looming against Mississippi State.
And this is why it's big. South Carolina not only fighting for postseason positioning, but also trying to get themselves in position to get a double bye for the SEC tournament and have their work cut out for them in Starkville and this series as well.
Nolan Belcher, who, by the way, graduated today, finally getting the graduation gift of some run support. Hunter Cole leads off for the Bulldogs.
One thing I like about Nolan Belcher is he's got such great poise. Not a lot of things frustrate him. Lack of run support doesn't frustrate him. Obviously, giving up home runs. And
oh boy, he might have given one up, but I think just off the end of the bat, Cole will fly out to left.
So has anybody actually started saving for college yet?
No, not me. No, you got time.
Oh, no, we actually started.
Yeah, but how did you even know where to start?
Oh, I found out about the Gerber Life College Plan.
Call now and get started with free information on the Gerber Life College Plan.
Oh, it's a life insurance policy, too.
Oh, that's different.
It's pretty much worry-free.
No matter what happens, we get guaranteed safe growth.
We've got to get started.
Call 1-800-308-7086 for your free information.
If you owe back taxes to the IRS, listen to this important message. The IRS seizes bank accounts every day. The IRS puts levies on paychecks and bank accounts every day. If you owe the IRS at least $10,000 in back taxes, we can help. Let our qualified CPAs and tax attorneys go to work for you. We can help stop collection calls. We will contact the IRS on your behalf, make arrangements, and reduce the amount you owe if you qualify. The consultation is free. Call Maximum Tax Resolution now.
that's a huge honor.
Down the line, could be trouble. Foul. Just out of view, but Jacob Asher, the first base umpire, informing us.
See if you can see anything here and how close that actually was. Great shot right there of it. Trickling foul. Anytime you hit the ball to either corner, the ball's always going to tail to the foul line. And that's why I was so impressed with Nelson Ward's ability to keep that ball fair in the first inning.
Yeah, Belcher's mixed his speeds against Farmer. We'll deal the 2-2. Fly ball left center. English at the track, 2 outs.
And Belcher got away with one right there. Farmer puts a good charge into it, but hits it into a deeper part of the ballpark. It's not the location Belcher wants to be. You see it right here, 2-2 count, 2 strikes. See how the ball gets elevated, pretty much belt high, and Farmer hits it pretty good, just to the deep part of the park.
All one to Jared Walsh. Walsh has had kind of a nomadic season, but a lot of that owes to his versatility. Began as the Bulldogs' closer this year, then was moved into the rotation in April. Suffered a shoulder injury, and he's been limited to hitting ever since. Walsh making his first start of the year at first base, and DH'd, played in left and right.
Yeah, 2 times this season, he's hit a home run and gotten a save in the same game. That's pretty awesome right there.
It's called a talented ball player. Belcher to Schrock at second. And another 1-2-3 inning for the senior Nolan Belcher after allowing the Ward home run to begin this game. Let's get the Bulldogs bats quiet. SEC entering its stretch run. Lot to be decided for the year, lot to be decided tonight. Gamecocks a 4-1 lead.
You can choose from many online dating sites, but one is created just for pet lovers like you. YouMustLoveDogsDating.com is a place to meet singles who share your love for man's best friend.
YouMustLoveDogsDating.com is a site created for you, your pet, and pet-minded people like you. Now for a limited time, try You Must Love Dogs Dating absolutely free.
YouMustLoveDogsDating.com. Find friendship, companionship, even love.
The FDA is evaluating new data linking Byetta, Januvia, and Victoza to pancreatic cancer. Our law firm is currently investigating claims for those diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Also, we are investigating claims for those taking Byetta who are diagnosed with thyroid cancer. If you or a loved one took Byetta, Januvia, or Victoza and were diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, or took Byetta and were diagnosed with thyroid cancer,
call 1-800-913-7129 for a free confidential consultation. Call 1-800-913-7129. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
Want more of the Fox Sports South Girls? Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Some of the scenes not too long ago still very fresh in Gamecock fans' minds. Back-to-back national championships. They closed down Rosenblatt Stadium in 2011, then christened the new TD Ameritrade Park by hoisting the trophy. And a series victory over Florida, and then 2012. Got close again, reached the championship series before they bowed out to Arizona. Some high expectations. That is part of the allure here in South Carolina as the Gamecocks steer towards another postseason. Not a bad thing to greet you through the turnstiles.
Oh, just a tremendous baseball program here at the University of South Carolina.
Next rocket drive, but on a line to Cole.
I mean, to reach the championship series 3 years in a row is, I mean, the odds of doing that, it's so hard. All the teams are so good. It's pretty much like almost like winning the Powerball. It's unbelievable what they've been able to do.
Let's not forget Georgia, also a College World Series champion back in 1990. One of the players on that team in their dugout. Good friend of Ray Tanner. That would be Dave Perno.
Yeah, it's surprising that only 3 SEC schools have won national championships with Georgia, LSU, and South Carolina.
Deep to first on the ground. Walsh, the flip to McLaughlin, and quickly 2 down. A good chance, I think, another team may join the club this year when you look at Vanderbilt, LSU, what they've done. Those two, I think, comfortably in the national scene picture right now.
Yeah, certainly two outstanding teams. And still can't count out South Carolina. They are 3 years in a row. My goodness. Anything's possible. And they have just done a tremendous job playing good baseball at the right time of year over these past couple of seasons.
Swing and a miss. Do you know the only team that has won it more than 2 years in a row?
I would have to guess Southern California.
And you would be correct.
Wow.
Round of applause from the truck for you, Trey Dyson.
Okay, well, I got one for you then.
Okay.
Okay. How many ACC schools have won a national championship?
If you're not including Miami, that would be 1. Wake Forest, 1955.
Yeah, and that you're of course right, as you are always, Andy. You are a genius up here, that's for sure. I just can't believe that Florida State doesn't have a national title.
You and a lot of Seminole fans, yeah, neither can they. Of course, North Carolina, the #1 in several of the polls. Vanderbilt #2, and a lot of folks think if the ACC dry spell ends, it'll end this year. They off to Pancake just outside.
And Coach Holbrook had a lot of great teams at North Carolina before he came to South Carolina that had a chance at winning a national championship. That guy, seriously, I think he pays property taxes in Omaha. He's there all the time.
Including his time at North Carolina, 6 of his last 7 seasons have ended with a trip to the College World Series. So you're not far from the truth. LB Dantzler gets to crack with 2 outs. Dantzler has reached twice on a double and a walk.
And once again, 2-out trouble for McLaughlin. Well, not trouble, but gets the first 2 outs and then walks a guy. This is when you start to labor with runners on base, and he's had a lot of pitches with runners on base tonight. Really takes a lot out of a pitcher.
A couple of really nice off speeds. Nothing in 2 on Dantzler, though.
Yeah, that's a great changeup, and with the way they've been hitting my breaking ball, especially against the left-handed hitter, I'm not even trying to throw a breaking ball here to LB Dantzler. If anything, it's going to be a changeup or an elevated fastball.
How about the fastball on the clothesline on the outside corner? So McLaughlin sets down Dantzler, and the Gamecocks without a run in the 4th inning. Rosenblatt on the horizon will be among the lucky 8.
Family fun, historic adventures, and the call of the wild. It's all happening in Columbia, and right now it's happening for less. Find discount getaway packages at experiencecolumbia.com.
In Kingman, Arizona, folks know this is your guy for transmissions. This is your guy for clogged drains. And for help understanding your employee benefits choices, well, Cheryl's your guy. She's from Colonial Life, and she meets one-to-one with folks at work to make sure they get the benefits that fit them best and protect the things they care about most. Want the best benefits you can get? See Cheryl or any of our Colonial Life benefits guys.
Our game summary as we move to the 5th. Nolan Belcher has retired the last 11 batters in South Carolina. 4 extra base hits out of their 6. Nelson Ward taking Belcher deep out of 2 count to begin the game, but South Carolina, Trey, got the bats ringing off of McLaughlin in the bottom half.
Oh, yeah, L.B. Dantzler coming up big in his first at-bat as a DH this year. Grayson Griner doubles the other way. One of 2 doubles for that man. And there you see the other one right there down the left field line. Scoring L.B. Dantzler. Kyle Martin gets in on the fun, hitting a breaking ball, driving in Grayson Griner for South Carolina's 4th run. And Nolan Belcher has been on a roll since that leadoff home run.
After a double by Cole with 1 out that first, 11 straight retired. Got Deloach to ground out to second his first time. Deloach, a career .276 hitter. And he's ahead on Belcher, 2-0. Belcher only 10 walks all year. And going on 90 innings. So you don't see many 3-0 counts. Usually when you see a 3-0 count from Belcher, you'll be able to spot that strike. Deloach making his 2nd career start in right field. Is also caught and DH'd. Shallow bloop. Schrock over there. And the freshman makes the catch.
And that's a situation right there. 3-1 count, complete hitter's count. Deloach looking for a fastball. And Belcher has the velocity to get in on his hands and jam him on a hitter's count. That's some good stuff right there from Belcher.
Strike 1 to Posey. A chopper to Ferguson at third. Good strong throw. 2 outs.
And Ferguson continuing his strong play over there at third base. Had a really nice season fielding after moving from second base last year. Good strong arm.
Nobody on for the Bulldogs. Leading home run hitter, the freshman Zach Bowers. Checks his swing. Strike call. Bowers was rated the best high school catcher in the state of Georgia last year. He's a native of Ackworth. He's keeping it in the family. His dad, his grandfather, his uncle all graduated from Georgia. After that first inning, yeah, relatively efficient since.
And it's one of the reasons why he's able to go deep into so many games. Throws a lot of strikes, gets ahead in the count, and also gets a lot of cheap outs on pop-ups or weak ground balls.
Bowers just stays alive.
And one thing I was talking about McLaughlin elevating a fastball, a good pitch for him when he's ahead in the count. I think Nolan Belcher should do that more often too. They see so much slow stuff. If you can get a fastball elevated.
Now this ball tagged into center. English drifting back will make the catch. To bring up 14 straight retired by the senior Nolan Belcher on his graduation day. We're halfway home. 4-1 Gamecocks.
Blackheads, so not attractive. and so hard to get rid of. Wish you could make those stubborn blackheads disappear? Now you can with the brand new Blackhead Dissolving Gel from Proactive. And the best news of all, it's free when you order Proactive in the next 10 minutes.
I'm in love with the Blackhead Dissolving Gel. It took a week and I could already just tell my blackheads were diminishing.
Unlike scrubs that only treat the surface of your skin, the dissolving gel penetrates deep down to melt away the dirt, grime, and oil trapped within your pores.
The Blackhead Dissolving Gel is really awesome. When I look in the mirror, instead of having black little needle points in my pores, it's just clear. It's just my skin.
Call the number on your screen now to order Proactive for just $19.95, and we'll rush you the dissolving gel free.
Now after using Proactive, I just feel confident in myself and I feel beautiful.
Don't miss out. Get all this, an $85 value for just $19.95. Now that's a deal. Call the number on your screen now.
Sports South, brought to you by Toyota. You're watching Sports South.
The freshman Sean McLaughlin's night is done. The Gamecocks on top 4-1. Gives way to right-hander Luke Crumley.
Yeah, big right-hander Luke Crumley getting an opportunity to come in here and try to stop the bleeding for Georgia. Big, tall right-hander. Pretty much a three-pitch pitcher with a fastball, slider, and changeup. Gonna run it up there in the mid to upper 80s. Struggled this year. Trying to get back on track against South Carolina tonight.
And the line on McLaughlin. 6 hits. And 5 of them came with 2 outs. Just finishing innings that he struggled with. Also walked 3, hit a batter. It was his first start in 2 weeks. He had his scheduled start versus Tennessee wiped out by rain last week. In fact, 2 of Georgia's games in the series were called off because of the weather. And you wonder, Trey, if the fact it was his first live action in a couple of weeks might have factored into the rust.
Well, and especially in an atmosphere like here at Carolina Stadium, but he didn't pitch all that great. The numbers don't show he pitched all that great, but I think there's some special things in store for that guy. He's got tremendous stuff. Just needs to fine-tune it.
And they get McLaughlin out before Grayson Griner could lead off the inning. New center fielder as well, DJ Smith. Griner 2 for 2. A triple, a double, and RBI and a run scored. He's off of Ward of Blythewood, South Carolina. He's a third-generation Gamecock athlete. His dad played basketball at South Carolina. His grandfather played football. That was a little high. That's what you call reaching back on 1-2 there, Trey.
Yeah, well, at least he didn't make a mistake in the zone. And already looking at Crumley so far, I mean, he's got a good live arm as well with the sharp curveball so far that we've seen already. To have the ERA that he has, he's quite surprising to me.
This one a towering fly, but off foul.
And see Grayson Griner even right there with 2 strikes. You know, those are swings that you haven't really seen a lot from Grayson Griner as far as the power is concerned. But I'm telling you, if something clicks as a hitter and all of a sudden you believe that you can hit the ball with power.
A redirect. Crumley's going to wear that one. Nice bare hand by Walsh in foul ground, but Grayson Griner with the single. They're going to take a look at Crumley. There was nowhere to run from that shot.
Yeah, well, the one good thing about this for Crumley is the fact that it hits him down low as opposed to a line drive right back at the head area. But just this follow through takes him into that spot and no way to defend himself.
And just look at how far the ball travels. Dave Perno told us before the game his team is finally as healthy as it's been this season. And something like this happens, and we'll see if Crumley can shake it off. They're going to give Crumley, I think, an opportunity to throw some pitches. See how that knee feels.
And typically, whenever you get hit hard like that, it's a situation where, you know, it obviously hurts right away, but you can most of the time shake it off during the game, but it's going to really, really hurt bad tomorrow.
South Carolina, as we told you, fighting for a top 4 seed in the SEC tournament. Georgia 19-28, 5-16 in the SEC, but still a lot to play for the Bulldogs. Simply reaching the SEC tournament won't be easy. South Carolina this weekend. Florida is nipping the Gamecocks' heels in the Eastern Division at Foley Field to close out the season. Crumley's going to give it a go. You also saw wedged in there another matchup with Georgia Tech. April the 23rd, Bulldogs and Yellow Jackets, they meet annually at Turner Field. It's always a big deal for both programs to play inside the decorated grounds of Turner Field, the home of the Atlanta Braves. Georgia crushed Georgia Tech 17-0. I told you there's more than meets the eye with the Bulldogs record. Ball one to Psycho. Here are some of those notable wins. The win over Kentucky was on the road. Really what stands out, 3-1 win, the opener of their series against Vanderbilt. Got around to Kevin Zomack. And when Vanderbilt is 21-2, those 2 losses certainly stand out. So for Georgia to have done that, there are a lot of other coaches who are wondering, boy, I need to know what Dave Perno did. Psycho was sack flying at RBI's last trip. And his career at Oklahoma State, transferred to junior college. Originally from Newburgh, Indiana. And a 4-pitch walk to Psycho.
Well, yeah, and that's just something that can't happen if you're Georgia, especially against Psycho, who's been in a really tough slump coming in. You can't walk guys, especially when you're already down.
And even though Crumley wasn't erratic in those 4 balls to Psycho, it does make you wonder how much he's still affected by that shot he took off the leg from Griner. Bulldogs do have Mike Mancuso warming up in the bullpen. See if he can get around Kyle Martin, who drove in a run.
And you see Kyle Martin squaring around early right there and calling timeout. That's just giving South Carolina and Coach Holbrook the opportunity to see what kind of defense they think Georgia might play for this bunt defense.
Let Martin swing away, and he fouls it off.
Coach Holbrook being aggressive there, letting Kyle Martin take a hack at it. Been most of the time bunting all season long. If they can get in a situation like this with runners first and second, nobody out. We've had a lot of sacrifice bunts this year.
Oh, he lays down a beauty. Almost beats it out. Kyle Martin has not been called upon to do that much in his career. Couldn't have rolled it any better.
Yeah, nice job by Kyle Martin doing what he was told to do and getting the runners over. And South Carolina's really done a nice job when they've been called on to lay the sacrifice bunt down. They've done a great job getting the bunt down, but then they've had a hard time getting the runs home. This time, I'm not completely against the sacrifice bunt since it moves 2 runners into scoring position.
Tried a couple of ground outs. South Carolina trying to lend some more overdue run support for Nolan Belcher. And it's off the glove of Ward. He'll throw to first, but Bright beats it out, and the run scores.
I really like what Connor Bright does right here. He doesn't try to do too much with it. Clearly has a middle away approach. You know, ground ball to second base with the infield back would have been plenty good. Lines that one. Gets the RBI.
They've yet to score that a hit or an error. And they do rule that in E4.
Yeah, probably the right call, but still good job by Bright getting the job done. You know, one thing I wish they would change in college baseball this year in the major leagues and in professional baseball, they've outlawed the third to first move for the pitcher. And it's resulted in a lot more action on the base pass this year in Major League Baseball.
By the way, that Bright E4, they do give him the RBI. Tanner English showing bunts. Not go around. I didn't see a sign. Scoreboard does say 0-1. I know that's a strike. Getting back to that, no bluff to third, fake to first move. Might that be because in the history of Major League Baseball, that play has fooled exactly 0 people?
You know what? It's actually fooled more people than you would think.
English the bunt on 1-1. And the only play for Crumley's to first. Tanner English gets the RBI. South Carolina's best bunter brings home Psycho.
And just tremendous baseball from South Carolina this inning with getting the first 2 guys on. Kyle Martin doing a wonderful job getting the runners over. Connor Bright with a solid at bat, hitting the ball back up the middle. Tanner English with the safety squeeze right there, doing what he does best. Getting Graham Psycho to come in. So just tremendous fundamental baseball for South Carolina this inning. But yeah, back to the third to first thing. Even though it doesn't really fool too many people, it does keep the running game controlled, because the runner on first base knows in the back of his head that he can always do that third to first move. And, you know, the definition of a balk is deceiving a runner or something like that. And if that's not deceiving a runner, I don't know what is. So I'm glad they outlawed that.
Top of the order, Schrott. I believe that is the rule book definition of a balk, deceiving the base runner or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. It's probably written in there like that. But
I think we all get it.
The next thing I wish they would change would be the inside move with runners on second base, like in this situation right here.
Up the middle, a base hit for Schrott. Bright sent around. 7-1 Gamecocks.
And how about the 2-out hitting for South Carolina tonight? They've been tremendous. Max Schrock just been tearing it up since April started. hitting the ball back up the middle. Second hit for Schrock.
And now comes David Perno. Looks like that'll be it for Crumley. Carolina 3 runs here in the 5th. And Mancuso will get the call out of the Georgia bullpen. As far as cashing in situational hitting, this has been about as sharp as Carolina's looked in recent memory. See if the inning will continue for South Carolina. A 7-1 lead over the Georgia Bulldogs.
Braves games start with Braves Live.
They have been rolling. I like what Freddie continues to do. They are fired up and they are ready to go.
Before the Braves play, it's Braves Live, only on Fox Sports South and Sports South. Brought to you by Toyota.
Crumley began the 5th, but he won't get out of the 5th. 2 Carolina runs, and he turned things over to Mike Mancuso, making his 6th appearance of the year.
Yeah, not a lot of work this year so far for Mancuso, but certainly has good numbers. Mid-80s with his fastball. There's a slider in the changeup. He's improved since the beginning of the year, still learning on working on changing speeds, but doing a nice job and trying to stop the bleeding for Georgia here.
Georgia team that's trying to work its way into the final spot for the SEC tournament. Again, now with the 14 teams in the league, different format for Hoover. They take 12. Georgia half game out of that final spot. They've really been vexed by the weather. They won their series opener versus Tennessee last week, then had the last 2 games washed out. You see how narrow the margin is with the Volunteers and also Missouri, Auburn. You know, you might finish last in med school, they still call you doctor. Finish 12th in the SEC, you're still going to Hoover. Chase Ferguson, the senior, 0 for 2 with a walk.
And as a former SEC player, even though our teams didn't have the greatest success in Hoover, it was such a great time getting out there and spending time with your family and your teammates, getting a chance to go shopping and getting to spend some of that meal money that you're allowed to get.
Especially the meal money.
The meal money is key, especially when your parents come and buy your meals for you. Yeah, I can still.
I don't even want to ask what the excess money was used for if your parents were footing the bill at dinner. Runner takes off. Schrock trying to swipe second, and he'll just sneak in there.
And there's another part of Schrock's game that I like so much. He's pretty quick. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's just got a really good baseball IQ. It's a great jump and goes in head first. Saw him. He's got to work on that. That's a second time he's done that in this past 2 attempts, I think.
Did the tag get there before the hand on the base?
Yeah, take a look at his left foot at the end of this. He gets in there, but then his momentum carries his left foot off, but at the time the glove was off of him, so it was the right call. But I think he needs to start his slide sooner if he's going to go in head first, because he's slid off the base on more than one occasion this year.
Schrock's team leading 14th stolen base of the year.
But for Schrock to be doing what he's done this year is pretty impressive to me. A freshman coming into this league is not easy. He's been making it look pretty easy in all facets of the game. over the past month and a half.
High fly by Ferguson. Smith is going to chase it down, the new Georgia center fielder, to end the Carolina fifth. 3 runs come home, though. Yep, a couple of shots in more ways than one. Good base running by the Gamecocks as well. Results in a 7-1 lead through 5.
Have you been to Folly Beach lately? You won't believe what you're missing. Folly Beach is more than just 6 miles of gorgeous beach. Folly is unique shops and wonderful restaurants, as well as newly renovated lodging. Folly is eco-friendly tours, adventure sports, and the best surfing in South Carolina, and historic maritime treasures. Come experience the laid-back island life just minutes from downtown Charleston. With friendly people and regular festivals, Folly always has something to celebrate. It's Folly Mon. Rediscover the island life on Folly Beach.
To the 6th we go, 7-1 South Carolina, and we're joined in the Gamecock dugout by first-year head coach Chad Holbrook. Coach, I know you were disappointed with how sluggishly your team looked at the plate the first half of the game versus Wofford. Different story here. What have you liked?
Well, we've had some good approaches and even made their starter throw a lot of pitches. We had some deep counts. We kept fouling a lot of balls off, which to me is a sign our guys are locked in pretty good, and we've put some good at-bats together tonight so far.
Hey, Coach Holbrook, how about what does it mean to have L.B. Dantzler, after every Gamecock fan in the world being scared he might be hurt, coming in and doing what he did in the first inning tonight?
Well, it picked us up, and it gave us a little bit of an adrenaline rush here in the dugout. He's hurt. He's hurt right now. He's sucking it up for our team, and he's a senior, and he wants to play in his last SEC series here in Carolina Stadium, so he's picking us up.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Coach.
Chad Holbrook. Packed house, and why not? Gorgeous night for baseball at Carolina Stadium. DJ Smith gets his first at-bat. Placed Bryan in center field the last half inning. Look at his numbers, 235, 4 RBIs. Trying to get to Nolan Belcher. He's retired 14 straight. Just Nixon to stay alive. Hasn't been that adventurous for him tonight, but we've said before, Grayson Griner, the sophomore catcher, about as good defensively as a backstop as you'll find in the SEC. When you say in the SEC, you really mean the nation.
Just tremendous back there. He's been a warrior for South Carolina as far as his being able to play every game, and when they needed him the most, when Dante Rosenberg went down, it's just been phenomenal back there.
Now moves to 2-2. Belcher 3 strikeouts. Smith avoids that fate for one more pitch at least.
And if I could compare Nolan Belcher to any big leaguer or former big leaguer, it would probably have to be Tom Glavine for the Braves. Just a guy that, you know, Tom Glavine threw harder than Nolan Belcher, but just a guy who would completely fool you with the change of speeds and locations.
It's one of those pitchers that coaches like to say works backwards.
He can throw any pitch in any count. Nibbles at the corners. He'll make his fair share of mistakes every now and then, but usually gets away with them.
Count's gone full. It's been a good at-bat for Smith. Again, his first at-bat of the night. This will be pitch number 9. Order up a 10th.